Hello, my name is Terry Phelps, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my craft room. Tonight I thought I would share a new upcoming suite that's going to be an online exclusive, and it's called the Botanical Textures Suite. And this thing, I love it. It's got all my favorite things. There's an corrugated embossing folder. I remember in the day back in the 80s, I used to have this little tool that would, corrugate paper, and it was awesome. So I'm super happy to have this embossing folder back. And it has some wonderful dies that are layering pieces, and they all have different borders, and it's super fun. So super useful, and so I love that. And it's got black and white designer series paper, which is one of my favorite things as well, because you can color it and do whatever. So I think what I'll do is I'll just drop down to my desktop and I'll show you kind of what's in the suite, and then we'll make our card. All right, so let me get down here. So first off, I'm going to show the papers just to get them out of the way. So there's two packs of paper, and this is my favorite. Look at these designs. You get 2 sheets of each, and what I did is I just turned over the second side. So this is all the designs you get, and I just love that. This is great because you can, color them if you want, and they're just so fun to work with. So you get this set of paper, and if you get the whole suite, and this is called the Botanical Textures 12 by 12. Super nummy. So I'm going to take this piece out because I'm going to use this for our card. And then another pack of paper you get is called the Woven Textures. And this one you get 3 pieces of each design. And what I've done is I just took and turned over. So these are all the different designs, but look how detailed they are. Aren't they awesome? So I love that. So that is another set of the designer series paper in this suite. Now you don't have to buy everything in the suite. You can buy just the bundle, and that would be that would be this stamp set, which is super fun. This coordinates with the papers, and this coordinates with the other texture paper. So this is awesome. I love the sayings. You are seriously the best. Thank you. A little note of appreciation. So those are awesome sentiments too. And then there is this set of dies, which they are so awesome. One, you can do all kinds of layering. And then if you notice, there are different borders. There's like a couple sets, and then there's some others that are standalone kind of borders. But aren't they beautiful? I love it. And then this is another one. Actually, this one and this one coordinates. This one and this one coordinates. This one and this one coordinates. And this is a standalone, and that's a standalone. So you can make some really awesome things with that. So I'm going to use 3 of these. So I'm going to put those aside. And that's called the Textured Notes dies. And this is the Textured Notes. So that's the bundle that you could get if you want to just get the bundle. Also in the suite, you get this awesome mini corrugated embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder, and it looks like this. And I'm super excited about this because like I said, back in the day, in the 80s, I remember I had a tool. I still have it, but it would crank paper through, and you would corrugate your paper, and it's just such a fun look, and it adds so much like texture to your cards. So that's in that suite as well. And then there's some dots. What are these? Neutral matte dots. And so those I'll coordinate as well. And then you can have this ribbon, which is white. So you could also dye this any color you wanted if you used the blends. So that's pretty cool too. You could probably do it with your stamp pads too. So that is all of the items that come in the suite. Tonight I'm also going to use this Painted Stripes cling stamp, and it is a Big Daddy. It's a background stamp. So this looks like that. So it's a good size one. So I'm going to use that as well because I think it coordinates really well with the paper I picked. So I'm not going to show you what we're making. We're just going to do it. So I'm going to go down, get rid of me. All right. So I don't need a whole lot of things for the card. And this is actually called a DSP gatefold card. So, and I'm going to make several of these, so I kind of tweaked it because when you use designer series paper and you're going to make a lot, I just want to make the most, I guess, of the papers that I have. So let me start with cutting our pieces. So the base of the card is your typical 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I think this is 5.5 already. Yep. So I want to go to 4 1/4. All right, so that's my card base. And then I'm going to have a layer. I need to cut a couple different layers, and I'm going to do one at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. And 4. All right, so I'm going to use that for this. And then I also need inside panel, and that's going to be 5. Let's see what we got here. So that's going to be 5 by 2 3/4. Alrighty, and then I also need a piece of designer series paper. Now, if you have a design on your paper, of course, this is going to be a horizontal card. So I want to make sure I'm cutting my paper in the right direction. And so I want this side of the designer series paper, I want the stripes to be going in this direction. So I want to cut a 3 by 12 piece. So I'm going to put this at 3 inches and just go straight down. Alrighty. And then I'm going to score this at so I'm going to score it at 3/4. And you want to do this really lightly because this is designer series paper. It is not super thick like cardstock, so you don't want to rip the paper. So I've got 3/4, and then I'm going to go to 3.5. Ooh, you can kind of hear a little bit of a crunch. That paper fibers were breaking down. And then we're going to go to, I got too much stuff in the way. And then we're going to go to 8 3/4. Okay. And again, you just want to do it lightly, just enough to be able to. So I think that is all we need for cutting pieces. Get rid of that. All right. So I have to do a couple things. Maybe I think I'll do my die cutting too. So I need to die cut 3 items for layering. So I'm going to use these 3 dies. So for my, I'm going to use this for 1. And I'm going to use the smaller one. Okay. And you want to make sure I get the right green piece, because I could have switched it easily. Nope. Okay, I got the right one. All right. So I'm going to run this through the die machine, and then I need a white one as well. So this is my inside of my card. So I'm going to use, I don't think that's big enough, so I'm going to use this. All right. Get all my pieces here. All right, so I'm just going to run those through my die machine real quick. And that's kind of nice when you're using dies like this. You don't really need to. Actually, you know what I think? I might. One of the green ones, I'm going to be having stamping on it. So I think I'm going to stamp my sentiment first. So I'm going to stick this like that. And I'm going to load up my, whoops, sorry if that's loud. Alrighty, I'm going to stamp my thank you. And then I can, whoops, oh my goodness. I'm going to put that through. All right, so I'm going to stick those through the machine, and then this one as well. I cannot believe it's the end of February. It's like, oh my gosh. All right. It's also nice when you're using smaller dies because you can run them through at the same time. Saves a little bit of time. All right. got my 3 pieces cut. Oh, my word's off a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so I've got those 3 pieces cut. And now the only other thing I wanted to do is on the larger green one, I want to actually corrugate this. So I'm going to put this through using my embossing folder. You can find out what I did with it. It's like, oh, why do I lose things when they're right in front of me? All right, folder, where are you? Oh. All right, so I'm going to make my sandwich, and I'm going to, now I want the stripes to follow the same as my pattern. So the stripes here are going up and down like this. So I want this to also do that. So I'm going to put it in this way so that when I use it in my card, the corrugation will be going like this because it's a horizontal card, if that makes sense at all. All right, so I got my sandwich. I'm going to run that through quick. And you try to put it in nice and straight so that your lines go good. And that turned out really well. So see, that gives it a lot of texture. It's just a simple thing, but I really, really love the way that corrugated layers look. All right, so we got that, and that. Let's see. And so we got to do a couple of things. So the inside of my card, I have 2 pieces that I need to stamp. Oh my goodness. Huh. I do it every time. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's the inside. All right, I'm going to cut another piece of white because I don't know what happened to it. All right, easy peasy. All right, my inside is 5 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to do that again. I always mess up something when I'm live. So I want 5 and 2 3/4. No, I don't. I want 5 1/2. No, I want 5 1/4. Ugh. Uh-oh. The dog just heard somebody outside. So it's 5 1/4 by 4. Sorry about that. All right. So on this piece, we need to stamp it. And so I'm going to use the large stamp here, and I'm going to use, what is this? Granny Apple Green. And when you're using a large background stamp, I like to use a brayer. It puts ink on your stamp more evenly. And this stamp actually is a distinctive stamp, so it has all of the, whoops, it has all the layering of depth of colors already built into the stamp. Get rid of that. What I like about these glass mats. All right, so I think I have this good and inked up. All right. And if you're ever wondering if you've never used a brayer, these tips are for when you're not using it, and it keeps the roller off your surfaces. All right, so I'm going to put that down and use a piece of paper here so that, because this stamp is actually larger than my card. So I'm going to place that down. Some people put the paper on top of the stamp, but I just kind of prefer to do it this way. So I'm pressing down evenly around the whole stamp. Okay. Oh, bummer. I'm off just a little bit. Let me see what the card looks like. Okay, that'll be hidden though anyway, so that's okay. All right, so, and then what I'm going to also do is my designer series paper that we cut. I want to, I'm going to fold it. Oops. So this is going to be the outside. And I'm going to fold this on its crease. And then I have another fold here. And I'm going to take the ink that's left on the actual brayer, and I'm going to color my designer series paper. And so what I'll actually probably do first is I'm going to tape down this edge. Okay, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to ink up what's left on the brayer. And you see how that adds some color? And that kind of then will coordinate with the color from on here. I cheated a little bit. I added a little ink on the side. All right. And so I'm going to let that kind of dry. And so this is actually, I'm going to put a little bit more ink on the edge here. And the same with this side. I don't feel like it got very much on there. Nice, right? All right, so now I'm going to do the inside piece. Might as well do my stamping all at once. So on the inside, I'm going to add some greenery. And this stamp coordinates with the paper, and it also is distinctive too. So you're going to have light and dark leaves, which I really like that effect. So I'm going to just put that kind of like this. Okay. And then I have my sentiment, which I'm going to put on the inside of the card, and that says, "You are seriously the best." And I chose to do black because, of course, it ties in with black and white paper. Okay, so I'm going to all right. So we are done with the inside panel. All right, so we have this piece, this is our base, this, and this. And I think that is all of our pieces. Close up the ink. I'm not wearing it. Has that ever happened to anybody else? Get rid of all these extra pieces here. Ugh. Get more of that off later. All right, so this is, we're going to assemble our card here. What happened to, oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so this is our card base. And so this piece is going to go layer on here. Okay. Centering that. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to add in our center panel. Now these products will be available on March 4th, I think. I should know that more, but that's one thing that's kind of fun about being a demo is you get to get things right away. It's kind of fun. All right, so that's our center panel. All right, and so we will take and attach that. Now I didn't bother to ink this side, obviously, because it's going to be hidden anyway. All right. Now I tweaked this. A lot of times you would have, the reason that I used this back panel, I added this panel, or layer I should say, because I am going to be making a lot of these, so I wanted the strip to be 3 by 12 because then I get 4 of these out of each sheet of designer series paper. If you normally would make your card, this would be 4 inches, this designer series paper, and that would be this right here. So by adding this layer and stamping on it to make it have another dimension, I saved myself enough to make 4 cards out of sheet of designer series paper. And I liked how I chose this stamp because the design is also kind of broken up like this, and it's stripes and it's stripes, so it kind of flows, right? And so now I'm going to build my focal point in the front. So I think because this is a lot of layers and I'm going to be adding some embellishments, I feel like I'm going to just keep all the layers without using like dimensionals, I guess. So we're gonna do that. I thought about maybe popping this center one up. We'll see. Let me put this layer on first and see what I think. It's always fun to kind of experiment with different looks, right? Yeah. Can't tell I have green on my fingers. My tape doesn't lie. It's all green. So I could pop this up, or I could leave it down. I think I'm just going to leave it down. That way, when it goes in an envelope, it's just not quite that high. Aren't these awesome dies though? I just love the look of them. They just are so fun and easy to work with, and they just look nummy. And of course, I was crooked. All right, and so then that is going to go on this. So I'm going to center that. So of course, I only want to adhere this side. And I don't want to press too hard and wreck my little corrugated look. All right. And so I'm going to put embellishments. And at first I kind of thought about using these because it was kind of funny. I just liked the look of them. And they're also called textured dots. So, you know, the whole suite's all about texture, right? And so I thought about using these. And I guess if I knew I was going to give it to a guy, I would probably use these. But see how they're really textured. They have little dots within the dots. Kind of hard to see that, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I might use these because they kind of have a green shine to them. Or I'm going to use these. So let's try this. These are the adhesive backed sequins trio. And you can find these in the annual catalog. I liked these as well because they also have a little green tint to them. Let's see. I haven't really thought about where I was going to put these yet. That's too close. Maybe I will do like one here. Hey, Kelsey, how are you? Thanks for watching. I think I'm going to do the triangle effect. Visually, that is really pleasant to the eye. And I can't pick up this. Thank you. I'm going to make a bunch of these for a swap that's coming up. Yes, I kind of like that look. I think they are kind of mellow. Like the cards just kind of, it's not super shiny card, right? So it opens up like this, and it looks like that. Isn't that fun? So it's a simple, easy card, but it's kind of got a different look. And we can change the look so many ways with different papers. Again, you can also, instead of doing this layer, you can just make this piece 4 inches by 12, and that would actually be this space right here. So either way you do it, but isn't that fun? I love, love, love this suite. So again, it is called the, what is it called? The Botanical Textures Suite. So that's going to be available coming up March. And, uh-oh, the mutt's going nuts. He must have eaten all his peanut butter. Come here. Come here. Want to say hi? Come here. No? All right. So I hope you like that. Give it a try, and if you do, I'd love to see it. Come here. Oh, you are such a tub. I swear. You get better every week. There's this boy. It's Leo, my troublemaker. But I hope you have a great week. Try the card if you like to. It was really fun and super easy. So I will see you next week. Don't forget, celebration is ending on the 28th. So, you know, go ahead and get on that if you want the specials. But other than that, I will see you hopefully next week. Have a great day. Take care. Thank you. Bye, Kelsey.